It is Severe Weather Awareness Week here in the state of Michigan and including here in Oakland County. And joining us to talk about how you can get yourself best prepared for the severe weather season is the Public Information Officer from Oakland County Emergency Management, Kevin Sadaj. Kevin, thank you for being with us today.
And we really appreciate your support.
Yeah, and we appreciate your support as well at helping the community stay informed on severe weather this time of the year, because it is such a harsh change, especially the way that our weather patterns have modified in recent years. That change from the bitter cold and snowy winters to some often very warm, even this time of the year, springs and summers. And that can bring about a lot of different changes in our weather patterns, especially when storms come through. And with that, Kevin, so many different hazards. This time of the year, what are the most common hazards that Oakland County in particular really wants to make sure that the public is aware of?
Oakland County Emergency Management is a part of Oakland County government. We provide logistical support in emergencies as well as communications coordination. We provide a lot of training for first responders here in the county. And one of those things is we administer the 276 warning sirens here in Michigan. So with this new, we have the emergency preparations that we're doing now as we get ready for severe weather season. Severe Weather Awareness Week will allow us to do that. So what we have going on tomorrow is the only midweek siren test of the year. So throughout the year, we test the first Saturdays of the month, March through November. Tomorrow, we do it for Severe Weather Awareness Week. And the reason we do it midweek is kids are still in school, so they have a chance to practice their procedures there. And it's an opportunity for people to talk with their family members, their loved ones, how they're going to react in an emergency. Are they going to implement the plans that we recommend, going into the basement, seeking shelter? What's their communication plan if something happens? Do they know cell phone numbers by heart? Do they know how to contact each other in other ways? So it's a part of a conversation that we recommend folks start having.
Kevin Sadaj is with us from Oakland County Emergency Management on the Splash Live today. Severe Weather Awareness Week, plenty of information on helping yourself and others in your life be prepared for severe weather this season and beyond. You can find more information, Facebook at oakgov.em for even more helpful information and tips. And Kevin, this test is important for our communities, for our schools and our kids also, but it's an important time of the year as we have a test on Wednesday this week, and as we recognize Severe Weather Awareness Week, that people understand what they need to do in their homes or in their place of work in the case of severe weather. How important is that end of the campaign to not just making people aware that severe weather season's upon us, but make them aware of things they need to know so that when we get those warnings, we understand what to do right away?
So you're right on. Preparation is the key to this. Knowing ahead of time what you're going to do is extremely important. You're not going to just figure it out when an emergency happens. So knowing ahead of time what you're going to do. So we want to make sure people understand what sirens mean. So we issue the siren warnings when we have a National Weather Service watch in place for tornadoes or severe winds, sustained winds of 70 miles an hour or greater. And that means when you hear that siren, you should seek shelter. You should tune into the radio for more information. Don't call 911. Don't call the police or fire. Seek shelter and look for more information that will follow. There's a lot of preparation that can go into this. We have recommendations for having people create a go kit. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a go kit. It could be a stay kit. What kind of non-perishable food do you have in the house? Do you have potable water, about a gallon a day per person per day? canned foods, dried foods that you can keep for 3 days in case the power goes out. Having a basic first aid kit, uh, having some extra medicine on hand, over-the-counter medicines, all things that will help you sustain yourself when you can't get to the store or you can't cook your fresh foods.
Kevin Sadaj is with us, Public Information Officer with Oakland County Emergency Management. More information can be found throughout Severe Weather Awareness Week and beyond on oakgov.em on Facebook, facebook.com/oakgov.em, or go to the Oakland County website at oakgov.com. Kevin, you mentioned earlier on that part of what you and the team at Oakland County Emergency Management does when the severe weather comes in is be that line of communication throughout the county for our local communities and our residents. So take us through a little bit of that timeline and the work that's being done behind the scenes when we're anticipating severe weather and it's time to start getting that information out. How do those lines of communication get established, and what are some of those first steps that your team's taking?
So we maintain a very close relationship with the National Weather Service. So even before weather gets within 10 miles even of the Oakland County border, we're looking at what's happening in West Michigan, 2 counties out, to anticipate what's happening. If we see severe weather systems rolling in, we are getting our on-call personnel ready to come in to prepare in case something happens. We also have our amateur radio public service corps personnel or volunteers that come in and monitor radios. That's a second line of defense in case our normal communications go out. So we have them in place. They have folks out in the field that are skywarn spotters. These people are trained by the National Weather Service to report severe weather that comes in. So they're another set of eyes out in the field that can help confirm what the National Weather Service is showing on its satellites and its other information. And if severe weather does come in, our on-call specialists, we have specialists that are on call 24/7, 365. They'll come in, and if they need to, they will open a line with the National Weather Service to ensure that the weather systems that they see moving in are actually happening. So when we meet that criteria to worst case scenario, have the weather sirens go off, that we could do that. There's a procedure that we have for actually turning on the sirens. We actually have a key that we have to unlock the system, and then there's a set of criteria that we go through to put that on. And then if we have a confirmed weather event, if it's a National Weather Service issues a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning with sustained winds of 70 miles or greater, then we would issue that siren.
More information can be found on Oakland County Emergency Management's Facebook page, oakgov.em. Kevin Sadaj is with us from Oakland County Emergency Management as we recognize Severe Weather Awareness Week across the state of Michigan and beyond. Kevin, we talked a lot about the during a storm event, even a little bit about the before, but unfortunately these storms, the reality is a lot of what goes on with them happens after the fact, whether it's strong winds, large hail, certainly with tornadoes or severe thunderstorms and the impact that they can have on our communities. After these storms have passed, these weather events have passed and the damage has been done, how does Oakland County Emergency Management navigate the post-storm times?
That's a great question. In an emergency, if we've had a weather event or any other type of emergency, the recovery phase is always the longest phase. It's picking up the pieces, issuing if there's a disaster that has to be declared by the governor or the president. We walk our communities through that process. The basic understanding is if a community is overwhelmed, if it's gone beyond its resources, they will contact us and we will assist them with logistical support and communications to walk them through the process of getting the help that they need. We have seen here, even in Oakland County, we had severe weather that came through late August last year. President Biden declared an emergency for the area so that federal disaster funds could reach the citizens here, the folks that live and work here. And there was a disaster resource center opened in South Lyon. In fact, it's open in South Lyon until March 23rd. More information on our OakGov website. But it just shows you that 6, 7, 8 months down the line, the assistance can still be there. In fact, sometimes it does take a long time to have a disaster declared. One of the things that we do with our preparation is we spend a lot of time on getting folks prepared for emergencies. And after that, we are there to provide assistance on how folks can access the help that they need. So, for example, on our webpage, we have a current emergencies page if there's an emergency that's happening. And we have all the information, resources, links for folks to access that disaster relief from those late summer storms last year. So it just goes to show you that sometimes these things take a long time to resolve themselves.
More information can be found on oakgov.com. Just simply navigate to oakgov.com. That is the Oakland County website. Under their community tab, you'll find emergency management and find even more information and helpful resources from our friends at Oakland County. Kevin, before we let you go, anything else that the people in our community should be aware of in terms of severe weather as we recognize Severe Weather Awareness Week?
So folks that want to get involved, there are some trainings that are coming up. Working with the National Weather Service, we have 2 Skywarn spotter training courses in March, and one in March in Novi, and then one April 16th in Waterford. More information on our website. You can find it right there on our Skywarn spotter page. But for folks that want to get involved in, these aren't storm chasers, but folks that want to learn how to recognize severe weather signs and report those to the National Weather Service, there's an opportunity for folks to get involved there. There's also the CERT program, the Certified Emergency Response Teams. A lot of the communities in Oakland County have this volunteer service available for folks that want to get involved in certain aspects of volunteer disaster relief and response. I encourage folks that want to get involved to check out our website. We're increasing more training. We want to expand that program here in Oakland County, and we're looking for folks that want to become involved in that. And the last thing that I want to just mention is for folks, we have these emergency sirens and we have alerts, but for other events that we have our Oak Alert system. And this is for other events, for like if there's a hazmat incident, if there's a missing person, if you want to stay informed about what's going on, I encourage your folks to text Oak Alert to 99411. They can get signed up on our Oak Alert emergency alert system, and this will keep them involved in what's going on, how they could avoid a road closure, they could avoid a hazmat incident. So 99411, text that Oak Alert to that number, and there's more information on our website about Oak Alert as well.
More information can be found facebook.com/oakgov.em or go to their website at oakgov.com under community and select emergency management for more info. Kevin, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.